Strength without discipline is chaos. Discipline without strength is embarrassment. Welcome to WTFitness. My name is Rob, the Godfather of Truth, and I'm here with Chris.
Yeah, Chris from On a Built.
Also, come on now. We zoning out.
It's rdfrom83.
And
Big John Fit is in the house.
all right.
In the
Welcome. Thank
house.
you for joining us today. So
Yes, sir.
we're
Thank
gonna
you.
have a good topic today. Is masculinity dying or is it evolving? We about to really touch on this. So things have changed a lot since I grew up. I'm sure since Big John grew up, Chris, Rockey, and especially depending on where we all grew up.
I haven't grown up.
We all know, but you don't have to tell them, you know? Right now we're having an adult discussion, okay? So put your big boy pants on.
I think you left it at the gym.
With all the screams.
They say masculinity is toxic now. It's offensive, really changes the nature of things and brings aggressiveness. I mean, how do you really feel? Do you think it's changing society for the worst? Or, you know, do men need to be softer? John, you look like you got some thoughts on that.
I mean, I think it depends on your perspective on the male role in society,
Okay.
right? And everybody has a different background.
Okay.
I spend a lot of my time riding Harley Davidson motorcycles.
All right.
And in that world, your perspective changes very quickly when you're around other men in an alpha male activity.
Okay.
And there's a lot of throwback to the Wild Wild West in a lot of ways because when you're on a long motorcycle trip and it's you and your brothers, your boys, the guys you ride with, and there's nothing else around, there's nothing else around. And at that point, you're relying on the guys that you're with, whatever comes your way.
Do you think that breeds certain, how do we say, characteristics or codes and values and things like that, morals amongst those group of men?
Well, in that world, it's all about respect.
Okay.
And respect can be earned and respect can be lost pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Depending on how you conduct yourself.
Okay.
And so, again, if you're in these environments that are male dominated and there's a lot of testosterone flowing and emotion and a lot of variables, well, you're going to find out who's who real quick. Right?
I can imagine. All right, definitely. Rocky, what about your experience?
Let's go to Chris.
Oh, go to me, said you. Pull it in.
I'm saying, is masculinity being redefined or erased? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's being redefined, not in a good way.
Okay, I mean, give me some examples. Like, what's going on? You've seen some changes.
We're seeing the pussification of men in this new generation.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I totally agree with you with that. Especially like I feel men don't, not saying the one that are growing up nowadays, they don't they hold off to like their females more than anything, more independency, leaning towards them through like finances and stuff. That's what I mean by,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
You know, I do see a lot of that, like
So they're not,
PlayStation 5s and that thing,
well,
buy me shoes. And,
like if you're in a relationship, I feel like they're not man enough or being a man in the relationship anymore, like how you're supposed to be.
okay.
You know what I mean? So that's my take.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
So context, man is supposed to, I mean, this is what I was taught, provide,
Yes.
protect, and
There's not a lot of providing nor protecting.
Okay. And what's it? I'm missing the third one. What is it? Provide, protect, and lead or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Lead.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's not a lot of the first two.
Nowadays, no. How these kids are being brought up.
You think now? So do you think that's coming from broken households? What do you?
Yeah.
Like we got a lot.
I
of
feel
things
like it's broken
factors.
households because I feel like there's a lot of single parents now.
So a lot of women raising.
Yes,
men, right?
yes.
And then they're growing up with female tendencies, not having a man in the house.
Right.
Okay, I can see that. All right. Because I grew up with my mother.
Mhm.
She was married, divorced, men around, different men. So
I feel like we're on the same page with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you see it, but then I can only imagine if there's like no man around, you know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, who do you look to? Because
Right.
I did get to a point, I think it was about 12 or 13, and I was just like, all right, I can't get what I need from,
Right.
we ain't the same.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
we're not the same. So now do you think young men are questioning, are they doing that nowadays? Like really actually looking to, or now hold on, let's backtrack. Do you think there's not enough mentors? Guys like us actually taking these young guys under our wing.
I think there's more mentors now, but I do think that the newer generation gives up easy. You know, we can use the analogy of, you know, back in the day, like it was all about winning and
Yeah.
being competitive, and now, you know, everyone gets an award. So if you know you're gonna get an award, it's like, why do I even try?
Yeah.
So discipline is like pressure now instead of
Yeah.
like a standard.
Because they tend to fold.
Okay.
Yeah. Feel like we need to baby them.
You know,
Yeah.
before the podcast, we were having lunch,
Mm.
and we were actually having a conversation about, and I was telling him from my perspective and my experience, you know, like in the 80s and the 90s, masculinity was huge. You know,
Yeah.
we were talking about the action stars of the 80s and 90s, the
Yeah.
Schwarzeneggers, the Stallones, the Bruce Willis.
We were out and the other day in the gym. Well, we were joking
Yeah,
last week. We like we
yeah.
grew up
Yeah.
on He-Man and shit like that, GI
Yeah.
Joe, and what you're talking about, Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
Conan, and Terminator. Like, yeah,
But on a personal level, I felt like, and from my experience, I think that there was more masculinity in those eras. But I think where men fucked up was they took too much advantage of it. You know, abusing their women.
Okay.
You know, being the leader, but also just taking advantage of them. Whereas as it got into the 2000s, I think, you know, women just got fed up, and then they're just like, oh, I'm gonna be a boss bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't depend on men.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I think it's like it's turned around, and I think that's where we're at with the men that we have now, because they're being raised by these women that have taught them, you know, and you know, and in a way, it's, I could see it in a good way, because now as men, we've learned to respect women more.
yeah, that has changed. Which
Yeah.
it did need to.
But I feel like it's completely changed, and now we need to get to a point where it's balanced.
Mhm.
But I think men still need to be men.
Yeah.
All day, yeah, all day. So the dominance leadership, has that become like an insecurity thing for men? Like being the dominant, is that why it's not happening?
So I did, you know, you always see this stuff on the internet,
Mm.
but where it really made me think was when the twins were like 18. You know, I'd kind of
Okay.
coach them like, hey, you know, go to the gym, do this, do that. If you want to pick up girls, you got to do this, do that. And they're just like, no, dad, like that's frowned upon, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, girls our age aren't looking for men like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, what are they looking for then? You know,
What'd they
that's
say?
when I was like, oh shit, you know, it's,
What
it's
are they looking
changing.
for?
Yeah. What did they
What
say?
they say? What are they looking for nowadays? Because you know it's just changed.
Oh yeah.
You know, softer men, more in touch
Really?
with their emotions and stuff.
Literally, yeah.
Like they
that.
literally
the
said
feminine
that?
side. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a trap.
Yeah. They do be looking for that now. They do.
I don't understand
They
that.
look at
They're looking for that, but then, but when they get it, they're like, oh, this is not what I want.
and they want that bad boy. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, oh, maybe I don't want another me. No,
Yeah.
there's only one.
Yeah, they haven't talked that junk. You know he, whatever.
But there's always, I'm that person, but I also put my foot down. I'm able to give you that emotion that you need to be leveled with you, but also be the man that you needed me to be.
Yeah.
So you got to have that fine ground, that balance.
I mean, it is. I mean, I feel like those are just things that should just come up with every relationship you in with a female.
Yeah.
You know, like
Mhm.
from a masculinity aspect. I mean, how you carry yourself in public
Yes.
and in a room. You know,
Mhm.
how you greet another man, how you do business. You know, stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
a lot of these men or guys or cats or whatever they call them nowadays, like they do cutthroat business. You know, there's a lot of poor eye contact. There's a lot of
Mhm.
jitter. You know, it's a very okay. And then I'm gonna scuttle off in the corner somewhere, and then
Right. Back
you
on
know,
the socials.
back on the phone. You
Uh-huh.
know, so that's where the breakdown is at.
Yeah.
Like, how do we get out of that? Get men back to working, owning businesses, like leading women back either to church or showing them how to raise families and kids and stuff like that. So let me figure that out.
Well, I mean, social media, technology, all these things.
He touched right on the point.
Right.
Social media is a big thing.
They're playing a huge shift in like this generational divide.
Okay.
Like if you're gonna ask, like I have young kids, right? My oldest is 13, 9, and 7. Their stars right now are anime characters from K-pop.
Oh no.
And the comment was even made by a group of moms that there's like a level of physical attraction to an anime character.
Wow.
Like the lead star is like attractive.
Wow.
Right? You're talking about a cartoon character now being looked at as attractive, where that was never a thing when we were growing up.
You're right.
Right?
Yeah.
And to go back on the mentors, a lot of us played sports.
We did.
Right? We had coaches, and I come from a divorced family.
Yeah.
And I give a lot of credit to a guy that was my 8th grade linebacker coach.
Okay.
And he was straight from boot camp, Coach Dean. And he treated me like I was a little pit bull, and he helped build that in. If you were to do that now, right, because I have a 7-year-old that just played a soccer game 2 days ago and got a medal for winning second place. And I was walking back and forth talking to the parents, like, why are we celebrating mediocrity?
Yeah.
Like, you lost.
Yeah.
Not only that, but this other team came to your field. Their fans are cheering on your field.
And they beat you.
Yeah, they're disrespecting you at your home field, and then we're going to give you a trophy. And my opinion is now looked at as like, oh, you can't be saying that. Like, for what, right? But that's where we're at. And a lot of it has to stem from like the female empowerment, good or bad. It's a part of our society, and there's plenty of women that are making more money than they've ever made.
Yeah.
Right? They're getting opportunities they've never had before. So you're creating an equal playing field, but technology is allowing it. Football is not the most popular sport anymore.
No.
Right? And what's even more interesting is that women's flag football at the high school level is now skyrocketing in popularity.
I do see that.
That
Right?
is,
It's a big thing now.
that's women's football. Like,
And there's opportunities for those young girls to now get scholarships and everything. So technology, sports, life, politics, opportunities, it's now creating this like, what is masculine energy? What is feminine energy? The lines are being very blurred. And when an anime character is looked at as like a potential like attractive object, a sexual object, right? Well, now you know why, right? Like it's a very interesting concept that we're dealing with as a society.
all right.
It's valid.
That is valid. I mean, those cartoons have gotten pretty.
They've taken, look, yeah, see, you got one over there shaking their head. You know exactly what it is.
Oh, gosh. All right, guys. We're gonna move into section 2, toxic masculinity versus accountability. Key topic here is gonna be, when did accountability become toxic? So a lot of things we talked on are things that we have to teach and instill or hold ourselves accountable as a man. So like, when did these things, like, are men's head standard, like, are they feeling ashamed? Is shaming is a thing? Is that what it is? They're getting shamed for being a stand-up guy, or exhibiting these habits, these characteristics?
Yeah, it's frowned upon.
But like, by who? This is what I'm trying to figure out. By like a select group of women, a select group of. So is this men frowning upon men for being men?
It's an interesting thing I run into in my little social media bubble, right? Had a transformation, used to be over 300 pounds, work out all the time. Actually, I work out every day. Today was day 1,204 days in a row. I make a lot of my content encouraging people to also follow the same road that I went down. Let's lose weight. Let's drop devices. Get rid of all the comfort. And I tell people, the harder you live, the easier life is. So in a weird way, you're shaming laziness. You're shaming a dad bod.
Okay.
And so that brings up this interesting topic where women prefer the dad bod. And I extrapolate that as being, I don't want to have to be insecure my entire life because my significant other now is more attractive. So there's a level of security when you're not as masculine as you could be, when you're not physically in the best shape of your life, which then translates to better eye contact, better finances, better relationships, more value to everyone around you. But it also puts a little pressure on the female in your life because they're now seeing you.
They now have to do the right thing, which is keep up to your standard and do what they have to do.
Well, I think with social media and all the, everybody has the perfect life, and all these women are looking at each other and looking at their own relationships and looking at their own, and then you have a dude that's now getting a bunch of attention. That puts pressure on your significant other because now they have to step up their game. They can't be overweight. They got to be in tune. And
But it's vice versa. That's what I'm. So practicality. So two good looking people don't make something great, but one good looking person and one half good looking person, that's like the perfect equation. Tell me, I need to know. Somebody in the comments, please. Like, that don't make sense.
Well, we talked about this on the way here. My significant other is closer to an 8'9" than a 5'6".
Okay.
She's very attractive.
Okay.
But also insecure. Right? There's a level of insecurity, even though she's attractive. And the reason being, she's now comparing herself to all the other 8s, 9s, and 10s out there.
Because, all right, and so let's talk from a psychological aspect. All right, women are emotionally wired. We're not down talking women, but we just take man to women. We're practical and logical. Women feed off emotion. All right. Insecurity is an emotion. So the woman could be a 15. You can make a 15 feel so insecure. I've done it. So I think it just comes with any woman regardless. That's why I say I can't understand the logic of a woman saying, I want a man that is less than, just because she feels insecure. It don't matter whether you have the man that's less than or more of, she going to be insecure anyway. Because that man less than, if he happens to be a hell of a comedian and she can't make no jokes, guess what's going to happen? She going to feel insecure because he's the life of the party every time he goes to the room. It ain't on nothing physical. So it doesn't make any sense to me, honestly. So we're just talking, but for me, I don't get how, and I'm not saying your man has to be shredded, ripped, 8-pack, this, that, and the third, but he needs to be getting his ass up. He needs to be doing some cardio. He needs to be lifting some weights. Or if he does a job function every day where, he's out there slinging bricks and putting up walls and like he needs to be moving, at some point. If he does a technical job, then take time from that, go move and do what he does. But he needs to be some healthy balance because who's going to save you if there's a problem?
Yeah.
Who's going to carry your groceries? Who's going to fix your tire? Who's going to catch something if it falls? Who's going to catch you if it falls? Like, who's going to carry the babies and the groceries at the same time while you got, you know what I mean? Like, there's things that a man has to be able to do. Who's going to take care of their mother when they get older?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not a weak, frail man. It's just not happening. So, my bad.
No. There's a key thing that you said right there. A lot of kids, a lot of men nowadays don't know how to change a tire, and that's an issue. Okay. These kids don't know, and you should know how to change a tire at least.
I have noticed that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the kids be like, I'm gonna call. What? If you don't pop the jack out the trunk and get the
you better learn. You better sit there and learn.
There's an interesting second argument to that.
Okay.
Whereas, like, if you're a valuable person and you're making $200 an hour, why would you spend an hour changing a tire when you could pay $25 to somebody else to do it? So it's $175 net benefit in your direction by not spending the time to do it. Right? Interesting.
Yeah. And interesting if your time is money in that fashion. Yeah. But that individual probably, that's what I'm saying. They probably knew how to change a tire at some point. They didn't just get to making $200 by paying somebody to do their tire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but I get you. Definitely.
Yeah.
What? Can't hear me, Rockey?
Yeah, now I can.
You can hear me? Oh, okay.
Is it just me, or did he sound kind of far away?
I probably was just now. Yeah, I think it was just you. Because I talk pretty loud. You know what?
He wants to hear the bass out your voice like this.
You brought up a good point. Second place trophies. So in modern culture, I want everybody's take on this. You think they celebrate weakness?
Yes, boy. Nowadays they do.
Okay.
They pat you in the back. Good job. You did a great job. Sportsmanship. Let's go to the next thing. They don't. I don't feel like a lot of people. Not a lot of people. A lot of these parents don't really care about winning anymore. Like what you said. They just care about doing your best. That's all that matters.
I think the consequence of not celebrating equal trophy is, the kids getting depression,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a lot harder. It's easier to give a trophy
Yeah.
than deal with what the real root of the problem is.
Right.
But then why?
It's a cop out. I don't agree with it, but I
Yeah.
think, that's what I think.
But why is the kid getting depression? He ain't getting depression because he lost.
Well, we don't know that.
It triggered the depression. What's the depression?
Yeah.
It ain't depression ain't because he lost.
Well, because everything is about hurting people's feelings, right? Or you get your feelings hurt if you don't win.
yeah.
And it's like, okay. Whereas where we come from, it's like, okay, you lost. That means you need to work twice as hard now.
That's
what-
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
Whereas now, they don't want it. They don't have the time for their kids to teach them that moral.
That you got to work
You know,
twice
they
as
don't-
hard.
Yeah.
So
Like, oh.
is that they don't have the time for their kids? Is that
Like,
what's going on?
I don't know what's going on with my kid, but I'm gonna do whatever it takes that they don't feel bad.
Mm.
It's lazy parenting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What's interesting is that in every pro sport that all these kids are emulating, second place doesn't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one champion every year, and there is no runner-up Super Bowl ring.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't exist. Like if you get knocked out in a UFC fight, that goes on your record as a blemish.
You're done. Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What's a little interesting, and I don't know if there's a way to even study this, but the Super Bowl champions now are from the generation that was getting trophies for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like, okay, so then how do you analyze the behavior of these athletes at the top? These guys trade teams every week. They have no allegiance to anything.
They do things like what's his name? Cam Newton, didn't he like flip out years ago at the Super Bowl because he didn't like win out, stuff like that?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is like how they act now
Yeah.
as a loser in a big game or a fight or whatever is a polar opposite to how it used to be.
Yeah.
And like
Because you
said,
see them quarterbacks breaking down. You see them those players having moments out there because they lost.
Mm-hmm.
well, having moments or transferring teams the next year,
Yeah.
right? Like the Miami Heat, when they just stacked their team, that would never happen 20 years ago. First off, the rules are different. But like I said, we're seeing that now at this high level. And again, it's trickling down through society. And like, again, we're looked at, our generation, me with my 7-year-old daughter, telling like, no, they don't deserve a trophy for this. They lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm the bad guy out there.
So what do you think that all right, so we had to have done something. We had to have caused something, exhibited something that caused people to be anti-masculine. Like, what do you guys think it is, really?
I mean, I always go back to the programming of society.
Okay.
Right. So there's an interesting guy that I listen to, and he has a great saying. He said that your life is an illusion and TV is your reality.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Right. And so as you see these stars, and it happened, like, again, this has been maybe a plan over the last 30, 40 years, maybe longer.
The Truman Show.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Like it's slowly, like Cam Newton, right? He's a great example because, okay, not how he acts on the field is one thing.
Yeah.
But how he dresses in society is very interesting.
Yes.
Because he's a polarizing figure with his style.
That's it. Yeah.
And he always has been. And he still is.
Yeah. Even his day on the show. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're talking about a 6'5", 265-pound, like Greek god of a human being. And he dresses like something totally different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that effect having on society and all the kids that are looking up to him and everyone beneath him? And, he's hosting football camps and doing all these things. So like that, in a way, is part of the programming.
Yeah.
And he's been used as an example of one of those guys that he started doing this and
now he's doing this.
Yeah, now 75 other kids are doing that. And now it's 150 kids and it's 2,000, right? So it definitely starts at the top. And
Okay.
like we talked about before, the guys we watch, Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
Stallone,
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Willis, they were never like, they were very typecast.
He's a typecast.
Right? They were one kind of role.
Yeah.
Once in a while, Schwarzenegger would branch out, but it was
It was machine guns and grenades.
Yeah. He had one jingle all the way, and that's it.
No, what he had the one with
when he was pregnant too.
Danny DeVito, didn't he? The one with
twins.
Yeah, the twins.
But he had one too where he was pregnant. That was the only other one.
that was the weird one.
Yeah.
All right. And then so what you're talking about too, getting into sports. So you think they're being discouraged from the competitive nature, like some of the rules changing, like protecting the quarterbacks more? I understand health and stuff like that. Like some of the things they are doing are for health reason, but some of these rules, I mean, some of these sports just they're not as fun. I don't really watch a whole lot of them.
They're just soft.
Yeah, I don't watch a whole lot of them anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, football is the worst one in my opinion, because I played football.
Yeah.
I like with a badge of honor. I was the last generation where you could actually hit the quarterback.
Yeah.
So I'm
You
like,
missed that.
Yeah.
I missed that.
yeah, you touch him and you
get flagged.
thrown out the game for a week or something.
Well, and then if you look at the body types of all the athletes, they've all changed,
They have
right? Like everybody on the field looks
very
like they
soft.
can run like a 4.7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no 350-pound nose tackle anymore.
No.
You know, if it is, he's like 6'8" and he's lean.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. But the quarterbacks are all very model too. They're very like. There used to be some brolic quarterbacks back then. They're all kind of, he's my quarterback, but Tom Brady-ish. They're all kind of like him.
Oh, yeah, the Patriot tattoos.
There we go. All right, see,
Near to my heart.
Oh, good.
there we go.
But with that said, I think football changed because what's the most popular thing about football that everybody does, even if they watch or not? Fantasy football.
Yeah,
And fantasy football is all about scoring points.
it is. It is. Yeah.
Nobody wins their weekend game with a 6-3 game.
No.
So now it's like 54 to this, and this guy's got 6 touchdowns, and this guy's got 300 yards. It's all part of the machine because that machine made football more popular than anything else ever had.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
All right. Well, we'll see, man. The competitive nature for me, I want to see like new sports, just completely new sports. Like take all the sports we got, throw them in the trash,
Yeah.
blend them up a little bit, and let's see what pops out. You know what I mean?
That
A little bit
physical
of MMA.
Asia stuff.
A little MMA with some football, something. Let's make it happen.
I mean, that's how you got girls flag footballs taking off,
I'm
lacrosse.
telling you, a little bit of everything, man, right now. All right. You guys want to take a piss or anything?
Oh, I'm good.
Everybody good? All
Yeah.
right. So we'll go on. John, do me a favor. Look into the camera
All
and
right.
say, do you think society is trying to domesticate men?
Do you think society is trying to domesticate men?
Thank you, sir. Evan will fix that.
Yeah. So domesticate, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. All right. So we'll go into section 3, you guys. We're all gym goers, coaches too as well. Rocky's a fellow health advocate. It's for me, it's a sanctuary. So do you think it's really the sanctuary for some of the real men, like the last place for them to kind of gather, even in silence, lifting side by side in the squat rack and not having to really worry about being judged or being, oh, he looks like a man. He lifts a lot of weight. Oh, he's got some tattoos here, things like that. You guys think like the gym has become kind of that sanctuary for us?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting culture now.
Yeah, and I was going to touch on that as we get into this.
I think it depends on what gym you go to as well.
That's where I was going.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
'Cause So in Southern California,
Mm-hmm.
there's a rise, just like it is in Vegas.
Okay.
The private gyms,
Okay.
the influencer gyms,
Mm-hmm.
and a new interesting gym has come to the scene, which is a $350 a month quasi country club style gym.
Lifetime.
Lifetime.
What?
Lifetime.
Yeah, lifetime, right? So I think it depends on, we all agree, what time of day,
Okay.
and then what kind of gym you're at, and who else is in the gym at the same time.
Okay. I agree. I think it's the gym in general. Yeah, 'cause
Mhm.
you're right. Some of those. So man, this is not looking good on this episode. So the gyms are getting soft too.
Yeah, the
huh?
gyms are definitely soft.
God.
I think they're looking more for the amenities than actually people actually working out.
So I mean, that doesn't correlate to a even healthier society. I doesn't think that helps the direction we're trying to go. Like softening up the gyms, like
Mhm.
making it Planet Fitness.
That's the one that gets me the most. Pizza on a what day is it? Pizza Mondays or something?
And
I'm
they got like Donut Tuesdays.
I'm
and
like, I don't understand
Tootsie Roll
that
Thursdays.
whole mindset right there.
It's do your workout and ruin it as soon as you leave.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. I see some when I used to go there just with my wife. Sometimes like she would want to go there because it's less crowded
Yeah.
and just get in and get out. And I see some
At what
people
time?
decent.
Hold on. At what time?
She would get off work around like 9, 10 o'clock. Anything after 10 o'clock.
Mhm.
Because
So those are those guys that already went to a real gym.
yeah.
And they came over there at night.
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
their 2
'cause
days
they-
to touch up. Don't play with me. They don't go to Planet Fitness. There's 60 pounds over there.
Hey, I
All
just go in the
4 of us.
recovery room, okay? I sit down and recover.
All
on
4
that
of us put
massage
60
chair.
pounds on our plate and eat that for breakfast. Get out of here.
Yeah, they go up to 75, I think. That's it. On the dumbbells.
Yeah. So to your point, in that aspect, maybe some gyms are getting a little softer.
Okay.
But my question for you is, do you feel like more people are interested in the gym now, like this decade of 2020 and forward, versus the last 10 years?
I do think people have been influenced to chase false health goals. Yeah, I 100% agree. But like any trend, it's like, where are we going to be at 10 years from now? When people get tired of, because chasing a real health goal takes we've talked about this, the consistency and commitment you've had over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
So like, take the average person, cool. They log into an app for 3 months, go to the gym for 3 months, the rest of the 9, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck my life off, you know what I'm saying? And then it's next year the same thing, and then next year the same. So like, what are we really helping? Like, we're really, okay, so we move the needle of masses and numbers, but like, what is the real outcome? Because then these people, because now you think of the rise of depression
Mhm.
and anxiety because they didn't stay committed to their goal. They saw themselves make a little progress. It was here. And then when it's time to go back, it's like, oh my God, I got to go back. Or I'm depressed because I got fat again. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
We're about to see it on this New Year's resolution.
yeah, it's
thing,
about
so
the
we're
whole
about to see it.
January, February, March thing again, all
Mhm.
over.
Well,
It's
you know,
crazy.
I will say our generation, at least for me, and
Mhm.
you guys we could do a round table. When you were in high school, did you have weightlifting class?
Oh, bro. That
Yeah,
was mandatory.
Yeah, you had to
How
work out.
does this new generation does not
They don't have anything. PE, nothing.
like Sammy's in sophomore in high school. There's no PE class.
Nothing. No.
I look forward to weightlifting class, man. That's my
Yeah.
favorite class.
It's like, let's see who's got the highest PR today.
yeah.
Yeah, they took all that out. No type of anything. No type of real world skills. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
unless you're paying $2,000 a month tuition at these like private schools that have it. But
And I know this sounds funny, even basic stuff like home economics, and these kids can't cook or these women can't
Yeah.
cook. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think
Mhm.
about the basics you learn in there about flour and water and
Right.
you know. So it's that you then pairing that up together. It's like, ooh, workout and food.
I think they're giving some more like different kind of elective classes nowadays.
yeah,
There's too many. They need to cut it down,
yeah.
shorten it.
I mean, in high school, I remember like once a week we do dodgeball, and how fun that was, having 20 on 20 or 10 on 10.
Mhm.
You having a running balls
know, we
flying at
had-
you.
we had wrestling, and I'll never forget this. At the end of the year, because we did wrestling like on Fridays, they did teams, and they call it war. So they
Mhm.
would have 15 kids on each side, and you were literally on your knees
Mhm.
and you're crawling, and the whole point was who could pin as many down, and I just remember like a battlefield, just like seeing everybody slamming their heads. I'm like, oh, this is cool. They don't do that stuff anymore.
Now they just take the cards and let's play
Yeah.
whatever Pokemon cards and stuff.
Not
Yeah.
Pokemon. Not Pokemon. Oh God.
What?
That's why I wanted to give you a microphone. I really wanted you in on this episode. It was very important for you.
Yeah,
to come in.
I was trying to not say much, but
want- no,
so we got to be careful with this. Look at that. That's all right. B, you got to fix this.
I wanted you in. I don't know why you've been dodging it. I made this episode specifically for
I'm very into media. I studied journalism in high school, in college. That's what I got my degree in. And you just see the change in media and what everyone's consuming. And for example, since I've been watching YouTube videos through you guys, my algorithm on YouTube has absolutely changed where it keeps showing me fitness things. And all the stuff that, in terms of bodybuilding, it seems like young folks are just finding more times, like, they just want to do the drugs faster. They're like showing it much quicker. And they have examples of just other young folks that are just either pretending to be on like PEDs or, actually on PEDs and then just like getting super famous on Instagram because of it. And when it comes to like opportunities and everything, we're losing like so much money from like actual education. So all the real stuff is just unavailable. I don't know. That was the one thing. Have you guys heard about looks maxing or anything like that? It's like an autistic level of understanding. It's like some nerds on the internet break it down of like how to make yourself more handsome. And the most extreme case is taking like a freaking little hammer and like chiseling your jaw so you
like
get that
real hammer.
Yeah, like a facial hammer.
I mean, yeah, but I mean like something.
Yeah, and like just like fucking hitting your face with it. It's like the thing. And then the same influencer who kind of talks about it, like he even talks about like using like a form of meth to stay off to stay lean. And I don't know, man. It's like
Oxy Elite.
Oh my God, yeah. That's the Oxy Elite.
But have you guys heard of looks maxing? Anything?
I've never heard about that, but it just, as you guys are talking, I'm getting flashbacks of Rich Piana.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Like, he was like the OG in this space
Yeah.
of like just telling people how it really is.
Yeah.
And I think we just live at that time now where like, who are the most powerful companies in the world?
Mm-hmm.
They're all the technology companies. And obviously they're going to like steer the ship however they want. And they use the algorithms, like you're saying, to manipulate what you see. So now these kids are seeing all this information because it's readily available to them. And then once you get trapped in that algorithm hole, you're going to be stuck there for as long as you possibly can be. Right?
Yeah. And then the most the most prevalent things on the internet are things that induce rage. It's happening in politics. Conservatives all into rage.
Yeah.
All into like, owning the libs and masculine coaches. Dude, it's all about shitting on dumb hoes. But also following the said dumb hoes on the internet and giving them money. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, yeah, there's a Red Pill podcast here. It's like Michael Sartain. And he tells people to be all like, be alpha, watch out, someone's gonna fuck your bitch. But also at the same time, he's a simp himself because all he does is just bring all these bitches around so like loser kids can go check him out and be like, oh my God, this super old man who's on TRT is trying to tell me how to be cool. I'm like, I don't want to follow that at all. I don't like the Red Pill. That's just my thing of it. I think it's toxic as hell.
I think anything extreme.
Yeah, but that's the
It's
only
toxic.
thing that thrives on the internet. Extremes.
Mm-hmm.
No middle grounds. No normal conversation.
Well, I remember from that documentary, I think it was called The Social Dilemma, potentially,
Yeah.
where they basically say when these kids that are interested in going to these fields go to these big time universities, what do? They study the functions of the brain prior to anything technology related. Yeah. So they found the way to give you the dopamine, to basically biologically hook you into that kind of content. Because obviously, like it's like watching the car crash, right? There's car crashes, everybody looks. So they're going to give you 25,000 car crashes a day if they can.
Yeah.
And like the guy you're talking about, like you don't want to be like that, but you know who he is. You've seen his content, right? And you've been exposed to all of it, consciously or unconsciously. It's there,
Yeah. I met him at a photo event. That's also it too, dude. Like,
Go off, Edvin.
Yeah.
before I started training with these fools, I'm a photographer. I shoot girls, but like, how did I think to get girls? I'm like, oh, let me pick up a camera. Let me meet all these thotties and these baddies with big boobs and asses. And then like I got to like really into it. And like 5 years down the road, I'm like, this kind of sucks. everyone's just like addicted to Instagram and wanting to look hot. Men the same way too. I'm gonna segue immediately into fake abs. I'm surprised you guys haven't like talked about that. Have you seen like Drake and Big Sean with their abs?
Yeah, what they
Yeah.
transplant.
Yeah, that's the new thing. Guys with BBLs.
Yeah, what are they called on the apps? BBAs.
Are BBLs masculine? Ladies, you like BBLs? Nah, what? You know what?
Do they
That's it.
stink?
That's it. Tomorrow, 20 burpees just for that.
At least.
Yes, just for that. What?
Well, they do say that being a millionaire is easier than getting abs. That
Yeah.
there's more millionaires than there are guys with abs.
There is. The percentage is very low, like for low body fat. It's not a, and that's we were talking about this on another episode. It's just
Yeah, we did.
It's not what people think it is. So
Mhm.
they get all gassed out. Like there's a very small percentage of men under 10% body fat, like slither. So
Mhm.
like if you're 15, 20 and healthy and your blood work looks good and you got muscles and you goddamn can fuck your girl, you better be happy. Like, huh? Mine right now is
Rob's
probably
lean.
yeah. I'm pretty.
He's lean.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm pretty lean actually right now.
He's single digit for sure.
No, I might be like 10.
I think you're leaner than that.
No, I might be like 10. I've been eating a little bit.
Well, last time I saw you, was single digits. I don't know. I could change.
Yeah, I was, but I might be like 10 right now. So, but yeah, I mean, any healthy man, like 15, 20, like you can have fun with your family, lift your kids up, you can work out good, you should be able to run, no problem. You know what I mean? Yeah. You want a six pack, you just got to push a little harder. Like you got to go, just know you got to make those sacrifices. So, yeah.
So Rob, when I met you, I was 35% body fat, and we
You
talked
were.
about this other episodes.
Yeah.
So this is the actual person I have to thank to get me
Yeah.
down under 20.
I saw you while you was
Yeah.
working with John the whole time.
It was part of that, social media brainwashing because, that's how Rocky and I first started talking
Mhm.
was because of my social media page, because I made the transformation and I was making the content, and then the algorithm trapped him. So he's hearing me, I'm shaming
It's a good
people.
trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's interesting in my journey
Mhm.
is my greatest accountability tool is that Instagram page.
Yeah.
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 You
To
know,
hold you.
now that I put myself out there, and I guess there's a level of vanity to it.
Mhm.
I never look like this. Like I got abs for the first time in my life when I turned 40.
Yeah.
Right. So there is a level of vanity, but I also try to balance that with how do I help other people,
Do that.
right? Because I like the way I feel about myself and the confidence and just being proud of yourself.
It's the whole possible. Like there's so many guys at your age that don't think it's possible.
Oh, they message me all the time.
Yeah, bro. They do not think it's
You know,
possible.
guys, and I know what they feel like because they're complaining about these health ailments. They don't like how they look. They don't want to take their shirt off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take my shirt off even to go to bed.
Yeah.
And my thought process was if there was like an earthquake or a natural disaster and I had to get up in the middle of the night, I didn't want to be without a shirt on. Right. So
got you.
that's a weird thing to go through
Dude, yeah.
mentally. Right. And again, I was over 300 pounds, but now I'm taking my shirt off in like rooms full of people. Like I'll walk around the mall with my shirt off,
Yeah.
and totally comfortable with it. Even, I did the bodybuilding shows, whatever.
Yeah.
So to be able to give that back to other people and inspire them in any way possible and to have the connections and, social media can be used for a lot of different things,
It can.
right?
It can.
But
It has a lot of
that's my
positive
accountability tool, but I don't recommend it for everybody right out of the gate,
No, they can get caught up in the doom scrolling per se, as they say.
Well, a lot of people try to jump the gun on it
Mhm.
and then they fail in front of everybody.
Which
Mhm.
I mean, look, so that's gonna happen. Honestly, that's probably the best way to do it because if you fail in front of everybody, they get to watch you pick yourself up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dust yourself off. Like,
If you don't, I've talked,
yeah.
part of my story is I'm from the Wes Watson camp,
Okay.
right? He was the voice I needed to hear
Mm.
when I made my transformation.
Mm.
Who he was then is not necessarily who he is now.
Mm.
And but at the time, that was the vehicle.
Okay.
He was saying the same stuff that Tony Robbins was, but I'm a biker and I'm tattooed, and I looked at a guy like that and like, wait a second, you're driving this, you're doing this, you're talking like this, your workouts are like this. Like I want to look like that guy, I want to be like him, and so that's what I did.
Okay.
There was a lot of us that went on that journey together, and I was talking to a guy this last week. He fell off,
Mm.
and he's drinking beer.
Mm.
He's telling me that he bitched out. He's like shaming himself in the conversation.
How long? How long was he like going at it? Like, how long did he really keep up?
He was probably consistent for at least a year or more.
Okay.
and then like I said, fell off, and then in his own mind, and then even his own the way he talks about himself, I bitched out, I did this, so it's like he is created his own shame cycle.
Yeah.
So a guy like that, I don't know if he will ever come back. So
I mean, yeah, that'll be a hard journey, but I don't know, bro. You just got to do it. Like,
How is this a support system?
that's what I'm saying. Like, you just got to do it. And he's talking to people like you, so it shouldn't be. And he's seeing you still going. So like,
and that was part of it, right? He's like, bro, you never stopped. He's like, I did. I
Yeah.
bitched out. Him and his wife were doing it together,
mm-hmm.
and then they both fell off, and they're both kind of back to like the old behaviors.
You think the wife pulled him down?
I don't know if it, that I don't know. I can't confirm that.
Okay.
But I just go on. He was doing it
Doing his
online.
thing, yeah.
He was online. He was posting all of us kind of were like, encouraged to post a certain way. So we're all going to the gym, but like I said, like as people fall off, then that becomes like a public embarrassment almost. So that's why I don't necessarily recommend it to everybody until you get to a certain point.
Yeah.
Because you do have to deal with that shame cycle at some point, especially if you can't in your own mind rebound.
No, and I agree, John, because we also mentioned this like on a different topic, like filming your journey too early, like worrying about the wrong things when you should be worrying about your lift, like how is it going? Are you eating your diet like you should? Is your mechanics good? You doing your cardio? Like if you worry about all those things, you really ain't got a lot of time to be trying to show the world, what you're doing while you're making your journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's, obviously like I post every day now.
I mean,
right?
it's different. Like, this is what I do. You get up, you do burp. You see what I'm saying? It's not a every day. I'm about to come up with this new, let me do this TikTok trend. It's like, this is what I do every day. I get up and I do burpees every morning, just so you guys know. Today I'm working back. This is what I do. That's different than somebody that's 20, 22, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna hit the gym and I'm trying to put muscle on and hold on, and I never worked out before, and hold up, I'm gonna set my tripod up and I'm about to just do all this first, and all right, now let me figure out how to bench. It's like, get all this stuff because your lifts. You see what I'm saying? You can go set the bench up and hit record and go about your business. Like, that person will be there 30 minutes trying to figure their life out and nothing's moved. So
well, it's funny because I used to talk crap about guys like me.
I don't knock it because for me, it is guys like you that in a different form. You know what I'm saying? Like the magazines and you see the videos, like the old footage and stuff. Like, that's what motivated me. So it's like, it's the same thing now. Like, it has to happen. Like, we can't leave these young men without something to be inspired. Like, to wait a minute, you're 35, you're 40, you know what I mean? You're 45, they're out here killing it. You know what I'm saying? I could be doing this in 20 years. How did they get there? Like, no, we need that. We need it in that fashion, not, hey, this is this week's Twinkle Bell twist, with the Bosu on my head, and if you curl like this and you spin really fast, you'll get so many muscles. See? We need a little bit less of that.
Yeah.
But no, we need that. Like, it's important.
Well, and younger guys do appreciate it.
Yeah, I know they do.
I got hit up by a guy today. He was in his, he was probably like 21 or 22.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, bro, I got my headphones in. A lot of people tell me I'm like super unapproachable in the gym, but then obviously I can't shut up once I start talking. But he's telling me, he's like, bro, your shoulders are as big as my head, and then we're talking, and I'm like telling him, like, you need to do men's physique. You guys got like a natural, like 27-inch waist.
Waist, small waist.
Yeah, I'm like, you're perfect. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, bro, like you kill it. He's like, oh, all right, yeah. He's like, he could see himself on stage, and so like they need it, they like it, they appreciate it.
Yeah, they do. I meet a lot of young guys like that, like the real young guys that want to learn, like they want to like genuinely change their bodies in life. They're confused about the information. Like, I do meet young guys like that. He'd be 21. That's what the kid came to me. He was like, yeah. He was like, man, you look good. And he's like, so yeah, I want to work out. He said, I just started. And he said, I'm thinking about taking some tests. And I'm like, you don't. I told him, I said, you don't look a day over 18. He was like, I'm 21. I said, yeah, so let's do this. I said, just chill. I said, take your time, take your time, get your blood work. Just take your time. Take like the next 5 years, figure some things out.
Reach your full potential.
Yeah, maybe even go longer. You know,
Yeah.
I looked at him. I told him, I said, I can tell you just haven't even tapped in yet.
Mhm.
You know, I said, tap in. You know, take control of it yourself. I said, then think about that later. I told him, I said, I'm 44 years old. I said, so that's you're playing in a different ballpark then. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But now, I said, I can guarantee you're probably fine.
Mhm.
You know, if you just eat and sleep properly. So, but the young guys, and, you know, they appreciate when somebody like yourself or somebody like myself sits them down and be like, hey, just chill for a second.
Yeah.
You know, and we need a little bit more of that to.
Especially you guys have history and experience. They need that.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah. I think a lot of the older cats or the generous, I don't think they tell these young guys the truth. You know, like when they get in those situations and a kid approaches them.
That's what we're missing.
I think they don't. They either be like, nah, I'm you know, they play the fake natty thing.
Yeah.
So now they got the kid all weird in the head, like what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're telling them some bad information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really bad stuff. So.
Or there's no masculinity present
And
to inspire these kids.
the kids, I think they're lacking that too, like
Yeah.
a solid form. I mean, you know, we got some good figures out there. Like we got some decent figures. You know, they're not bad, but I think there's an issue. Like you can only push the masculinity thing so far right now, because like when you go to push it too far.
I guess what I mean is like, you know, there's a lot of people that a lot of single mom parents that are just like, oh, I don't need a man, blah blah blah. You know, for those of you that are raising kids on your own, like bless you, but there has to be, especially if you have sons or boys, if you want to turn them into men, they need male figures.
An uncle or something.
Yeah,
they need something.
they need that. That's where we need masculinity.
Yeah, no, I agree, Rock. Yeah, we need it in the households. You know, if anything, like to really give that foundation. So when these kids leave out the house,
Especially now, they get eaten up.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's crazy is things are changing back to when we came up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, look at what they're doing with the coal mines and just to think they're changing things like society. Like we're going back to the Stone Ages of a man had to do these things to survive. And I'm like, we're halfway to our coffin.
Mm-hmm.
So like, who's gonna do the stuff that we did coming up? Like, didn't they're like they're gonna do it in this state without crumbling, like without, oh my God, having a panic attack and shit. Like, you know,
It just depends on how far technology goes. Yeah, that's another thing that we were talking about earlier, right? You can actually wear a suit right now and pick up a whole car. The suit will do
I have seen
90% of the work.
Yeah,
you know?
I have seen that.
And I think what you're saying, like the throwback right now is the manual labor side of things, because supposedly technology is not there yet.
Yeah,
You know, but it's, in my opinion, only a matter of time until that stuff
it's a blink
gets
of an eye.
replaced.
Yeah,
right?
by the end of the decade.
Yeah, because what they're saying is with all these language learning models, any thinking job can already be replaced.
Yeah.
And any kind of repetitive anything, right? So like I said, there's a premium right now on like plumbing and electrical and roofing and all these things, but that stuff will be replaced.
That's
eventually
coming.
too.
Yeah.
And then we go back to like all these kids are playing video games, and you know, again, the tech companies are orchestrating this whole thing because that's where they want them to be. So do these kids find gyms? Is going to the gym going to be cool? We don't know. Right?
So what is this? This is the prep for the enhanced human being. Like make everybody like docile and weak, and then now we just enhance them how we want to do their job that we need them to do.
Or what's interesting, one of the most popular games that I've played on Roblox with my kids is called Weightlifting Simulator. So your character,
you heard of that? Okay.
Your character can get big and strong and take over the whole screen in the game, and it makes you physically stronger and bigger. And so you can make your avatar, your digital you,
as big as you want,
as big as you want, strong as you want, with all these capabilities. Crazy. And a lot of young kids don't like to leave the home, even on spring, like in California. When's the last time we saw kids riding their bicycle down the street? Like it doesn't exist.
Same thing out here in Vegas. That don't happen.
Right? Yeah. So, and even on Christmas break, winter break, home from school for the day, the kids go right to the computer.
Yeah.
They would rather be on there talking to each other, living in virtual world with their avatars and their pets and their hairstyles. And there's commerce. They're selling each other clothes and hats and whatever else.
You're right.
Right.
You're right. Because then they're the future. Like that's 20 years from now.
And imagine when they're in charge.
That's what I'm sitting here thinking about you saying that. Like they're going to be in control of.
Yeah, they're going to be the governor and the mayor and the president. And so where does that leave men in society, and what is the role of men? And and again, I know you guys probably talked about in other episodes, but all these new things you can take, they're revolutionary compared to what was available 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. It's like peptide space and all that. Yeah.
Right. And so you can lose weight in 10 weeks. You can do things the human body's not supposed to be able to do.
Yeah.
And who are the young guys coming up? You have a couple all natural kids. That kid, Julian, he's one of the best physiques I've ever seen for like a 19-year-old.
Yeah, for a 19 who's
Right.
natural.
His arms are stupid. How big, right?
We were just talking about him last episode, right?
Yeah, that guy's he's a freak, right? But then you got the Trend Twins, and you go to the Fit Expo, which I have a booth at. So jerky, Big John's macro snacks.
There you go.
There you go. But you go to the Fit Expo, and who has the longest line? Those two kids.
Yeah.
And they've never done anything other than take a bunch of juice and make a podcast or whatever they do.
Yeah.
They've never competed. They don't do weightlifting competitions, and
they just gain their influence.
Yeah, there's influencers, and like to Sam Sulik's credit, at least he's now a competitor.
Yeah.
But these are the guys that are like motivating that generation right now for the small population that wants to work out.
Yeah, no, you are right. It's a dangerous territory. I mean, even we might just end up with a whole generation of superhumans because they might get it all figured. I mean, with what you're saying, technology is going to come in play, and it's like the ability to figure all that stuff out and make it work perfect from a pharmacology aspect. I mean, we're literally like a reach from that. You know what I mean? And for you to get your special recipe.
We're going to live forever. Just give it like 5 more years.
Yeah, I told myself I could make it another 10, 15. I said, I think I might have a slight chance of
Give me
being
the
around.
limitless pill
Yeah,
now.
I might be around for a minute. Telling you.
But if you ever go down the rabbit hole of nanotechnology, that will really blow your mind.
Yeah. They're using that in medicine now already.
Yeah, so I read a book. Right?
Okay.
That's part of the other good thing about going down these personal development journeys and turning off the TV and, like trying to become a better human being.
Yeah, you start reading.
You start reading, listening to books. So they talked about, of course, the author's name is going to escape me right now, but he was a scientist, went to MIT, worked for Google, multiple President's Award, Ray Kurzweil is his name. He wrote a book called The Synergy is Near.
Okay.
It talked about the convergence of human beings and AI. Okay. And so one of the things that he talked about was nanotechnology, that they're going to implant small robots into your body, and they're going to give human beings, this is one of the incredible examples, you could hold your breath underwater for 4 hours because of these robots inside your body.
I'm sure.
So imagine like where we're going as a species. That's just one area that they've locked in on.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time until we're like jumping over houses and
it's just gene manipulation. Like you think about, all right, so on the earth and you have the plants and you have the animals and all of that. When you look at the genetic spectrum, how close, like all right, we'll take us and the chimpanzee, 98.5%. Like we are genetically exactly like that. It's the 1.5 that makes us do what we do. So technically on a genetic spectrum, we can do anything that, a monkey, chimpanzee, gorilla, mushrooms are 50%, you know what I mean, of our DNA that we're locked in. And they're the only other thing in the animal kingdom that has an immune system like ours. So they can take viruses, and then also they create, they use sunlight to create vitamin D like we do. You know what I mean? So you think about these commonalities between us and different things and fish. Like we are the super being on this world. We have all the genomes. It's just a matter of somebody going in and saying, okay, I'm going to change this ACTG right here and make it do this. And then next thing you know, you got scales and you Aquaman out here. So I'm with you, John. I'm actually looking forward to it. Because I'm going to tell you, as soon as they find my recipe,
locked in.
I'm in. I'm telling you, whoosh, through the water, and give me the gills.
You're already in.
No,
You're black.
You know what?
You
I
can
don't know
do
if
it
that
all.
makes me in. I don't know. We could do a little bit. We could do a little bit, right?
Just imagine when the cell phone's obsolete, because they're already talking about that.
Yeah, they're gonna.
You know,
It's gonna be all glasses,
mine.
wrist. Yeah, and then that eventually. Once they get the whole, the Neuralink, that whole type situation worked out. Yeah, they're just gonna be popping in the side of people's head.
so then where do you think physical fitness and weightlifting and
It's gonna be over. It's not. I don't think it's gonna matter at that point. Like the physicality thing that we're so obsessed with right now as humans. I don't think it's gonna be a thing because everybody's gonna be able to lift that 50-pound rock. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna be able to do. You might have one or two special people to perform special jobs or functions, but as a mass, I think they're gonna put everybody kind of on that same playing field. They're gonna start to remove like the things that make us different.
Isn't that sad?
It's very sad.
To actually just think about it.
It is.
potentially maybe that's why the lines of femininity and masculinity have become
So
blurred.
close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're all going to be equal in terms of like physical capability, which has generally been male dominant.
Yeah, it has been and perceived as, But all right, so is it completely a bad thing? Because then now let's say we reach this level of balance. We can get rid of like a lot of the ego-driven things that we got. Because we have to say, as women and as men, like we do things as a species because we are who we are. We do things as men because we're men, and they do things as women because they're women. So it's like when you get all that out the way, and it's not making, pussification. That's the word we use. We're not doing that. But when you get all of that out the way, and it's like there's some type of equality there, because we wouldn't. I mean, let's be realistic. We wouldn't exist without a woman.
Right.
So there's got to be, and there's things they can do that we can't do. Because I was gonna say, nigga, you find me a man that can spit a baby out.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a superpower in itself. So there has to be a balance, right? So we reached that point. Do you think now that wouldn't add to making us a better society? That's where I was going. Sorry. Like other things to focus on.
I wonder what that does to procreation.
No, I mean, procreation still has to happen because that's part of what we are as humans. I don't mean remove the fact that there's male and female. I mean remove the divide between them. No, male is male and female is female. Like that's how you make babies. There ain't no other way to make it happen, So
Well, what happened if they did though?
They better not go tampering with shit like that.
Hey, they be tampering with everything now.
No, they better.
So
that's like a snake
something's
or
gonna
something.
happen like
Yeah,
that.
they better not go tampering with shit like that.
I don't want to be alive when that happens.
Well,
okay?
I better not be.
I mean, but if that happens, maybe that's the reason why masculinity is like, I mean,
that's tough.
That's a big reason why I got tattoos, ride a motorcycle, right? Because chicks like that.
I got a little bit of
They do. That's why I have my beard all tight. Like that's what you do, man. Like, So, do you think men should be emotionally soft or emotionally controlled? Anybody can start at any point.
Emotionally controlled.
And why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because I feel like you should just be controlled with everything, not just emotionally. Your whole life.
I think there's only one person as a man you could be soft to, and that's your mom. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I was gonna say your daughter, right? I think that for me, that was a game changer. Was having a little girl, and I tell everybody she's probably the only kid I have that looks at me like she actually loves me. Like the boys could care less, but like when you have a daughter,
Yeah.
I mean, you want obviously as a dad, you're trying to show her the kind of man you want her to be with,
Yeah.
right? And like the values that hopefully she looks for in a significant other someday down the road. Who knows what that's going to look like? And another reason why I'm all tattooed and ride motorcycles, I can see who that's going to be walking through the door.
I'm about to say you already know it's coming through the door.
Yeah, So I like to answer your question. I think it depends on the situation. I think there's times when it maybe makes sense to like let emotion take over and handle business. Because so let me preface this: if you're dealing with a emotional outburst from another man, and it's in a physically confrontational way.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to be soft in that situation, you may not like the outcome that you receive. And, you know, there's a saying, like, when you're swimming with sharks, you better act like a shark.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when men do lose themselves emotionally, it's because they're insecure. So they're relying on that emotional outburst to overcome that insecurity. And then they go into a rage, right? And, you know, some of the hardest criminals in the world pride themselves on not breaking character.
Yeah.
And so you see the emotional value there by living with some sort of control. But there's times when you can't. Like, someone's coming at you, they're losing it. They're like, hey, calm down. Like, that ain't gonna work.
No, you got to step it up.
Yeah, like you're gonna have to defend yourself, and you're gonna have to probably raise your level of emotion to meet their level of emotion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Should men still lead?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the context again, right? I think there's certain situations where women, believe it or not, are probably better leaders.
Okay.
And then there's certain environments where women have no place.
Okay.
You know, obviously in the motorcycle world, it's a male dominated field, and the men are expected to lead. Women are expected to be, what's a good word for it? Seen but not heard, right?
Okay.
There's a pecking order in that world, and it's there for a reason. And a lot of the things that happen in that world are just male dominated, you know, and it's just, when you look at historically throughout the world, most of the leaders of every country, every business, it's male dominated for whatever reason. Now, with that said, when it comes to like doing my daughter's hair, like, yeah, cool, mom can lead that one.
Mm-hmm.
What? You're not gonna do your daughter's hair? What?
I mean, I obviously I would,
No.
but I don't think I should be the lead person on that one. you
No,
know?
definitely not. And that's good you brought that up, like male dominated world in the biker world. So you think aggression is necessary or dangerous?
It's both. Again, you know, I know I'm coming with all kinds of sides of this,
You're good.
but it's both because it's a very unpredictable environment. There's a lot of variables, and you know, it's you know, when you're dealing with a lot of personalities, you're dealing with different levels of intoxication. You're dealing with different levels of societal means. Because that's the thing about the biker world. You can have guys with zero money and guys with hundreds of millions of dollars in the same world.
Mm.
And anything and everything in between with responsibilities. I mean, you'd be surprised the backgrounds of a lot of guys that are in that world. And so you're dealing with all kinds. And again, in that world, there's a lot of picking sides.
Mm.
And that's just the way it is. It's always been that way. It's going to stay that way. And so with that said, you're going to get a level of animalism, if you will. Like it's primal.
Animal instinct.
Yeah, animal instincts. It's a primal world. And sometimes force has to be met with force. And sometimes the biggest deterrent is the threat of force.
Mm. Okay. Anger necessary or dangerous?
I agree with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aggression. Okay.
He's so articulate. We don't have to say anything.
Yeah, like
Just
he
talk
put a
for the rest
spot
of the
on
podcast.
for sure.
What about you, Rocky? Aggression?
I think it's necessary, but
It's necessary.
it has to be controlled. You
Okay.
can't just lose your shit and then fucking go off the rails. Like you raise the aggression as needed.
Okay. Based on the
You know, it's like
situation.
having a dog, like an aggressive dog. Like, you know, if you're an alpha, they're gonna respect you. And there's times that the dog is gonna get aggressive, and you're gonna have to get aggressive. Sometimes you might have to pick them up just to show them, like, hey, you calm down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes it's needed.
Okay. So I'm gonna read off a few things, you guys. I want you guys to either tell me if it's toxic or the truth. All right. Each one of you guys can go through. Traditional masculinity is pushing young men towards violence. Toxic or truth, Rocky?
Toxic.
Yeah, I would say toxic as well.
Toxic.
Toxic. Okay. Being dominant in a relationship is inherently toxic.
Wait, say it again.
Being dominant in a relationship, like as a man being
Mhm.
dominant, is just inherently toxic.
That's toxic.
I would agree. I think it's
Mhm.
toxic as well.
Okay. Men today are weaker than previous generations.
Truth.
And we're talking physical, mental.
Just
general.
men in general.
Men in
Men
general.
today, yeah.
So I have an interesting take on this
Okay.
because
I like to hear it. Well, first off, toxic or truth?
I think it's probably toxic.
Okay, well, go ahead.
And I think so men have never been more powerful than they are right now in
Okay.
certain ways. Men have never had this level of wealth. Men have never had this level of manipulation, or obviously the world's being ushered into a new way.
Yes, this is a new era.
Right, our lives are changing. We're going to experience things that society's never experienced, and at the head of that is a lot of men.
Yes.
And these men have become more powerful than any other men ever probably in the history of the world that we know of.
Yeah. No, you're witnessing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So as much as the general population has probably gotten softer,
Mm.
it's given rise to the ultimate power of a certain subset of men.
Okay. All right. I could see that.
I'm just gonna speak out of the general population. True.
Sure. Okay. All right. Social media has feminized male ambition.
Say it again.
Social media has feminized male ambition.
Yes. Truth.
Truth.
I would say that in my experience, social media has created male ambition.
Okay. So toxic then.
So yeah, toxic. I mean, like I said, without those role models I saw, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Toxic.
Toxic. Okay.
Mhm.
Stoicism is suppression, not strength.
I think it's both. It's like Batman. People love Batman because he's stoic.
Yeah.
I hate him. I think he's a pussy. I guess it depends. Like, I have respect for some stoic people, but
Okay.
I'm an extreme extrovert, so I love the loud
Yeah.
type of male.
So what do you think? It's a suppression or strength?
It's both. I can't pick one.
Okay. All right.
I used to study a lot of Stoics. I used to listen to their quotes. I think it's strength, personally.
Okay. All right.
Kind of lead them both.
You were both?
Mm.
Okay. All right. So we got two boths in the strength. All right.
How about you?
I like stoics.
Well, you are stoic.
Yeah. So it's kind of to nature.
I'm not saying you're a pussy. I'm just saying
No, I know
that
you're not. And if you were, I don't.
because you're
care.
not.
Yeah, I don't. Even if
You
you,
put
were,
me through it today.
yeah, this shit don't offend me, But no, I like stoic. I think it comes with a certain level of it's what you guys were talking about. There's a discipline, there's a control in there, and then there's a way to, you know what I mean, to do things. So no, I think it's, I think it's a strength. So I think that's a toxic statement, honestly. Men don't need brotherhood anymore.
That's toxic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, as a member of a brotherhood, I got.
I know what your answer is. And that's toxic over there, Chris. Okay.
Yep.
Therapy replaced discipline.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah.
Okay.
Therapy replacing discipline?
Yeah, therapy replaced discipline.
Ooh, replaced discipline. I think that's toxic.
That's toxic? Okay,
Yeah.
so we got one truth, one toxic.
I don't remember there being therapy back in the day. Now all of a sudden
There
that's all
wasn't.
everybody wants to do.
There wasn't. But
That's why I
toxic.
say that.
Toxic. So we got two toxics, one truth. I don't think it's helped. So I'll agree with Rocky. It not saying therapy is not needed for traumatic incidents. People go through things that need to be talked about or sorted through and they can't understand. But right, you got yelled at as a kid. growing up, and now you got issues at 18 because mommy and daddy yelled at me. I need to go talk to somebody. Okay, no.
How you feel about it?
For a soldier that went to war, let's go. Oh, hold on. So we're gonna pause. This is good.
Me and Chris are Filipino, and you.
Worst punishment you got from your parents?
Worst punishment. I mean, besides getting my ass beat every day,
Yeah.
physically and mentally.
Yeah, what's one of the worst ones? Ones you can remember that stuck. That made
You know, I would say the worst punishment wasn't even me. It was watching my dad break my brother's nose.
Jesus.
Yeah, and just watching him cry and beg for his life, and there was
Jesus.
nothing anyone could do. That was the worst punishment.
Jesus. All right. Big John.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you want to consider it punishment. I had an interesting stepdad from the time I was 7 to the time I was 12. I say interesting because the most interesting part of that relationship is that he looked at my relationship with my mom as a competition.
Oh, shit.
And so there was a lot of aggressive behavior towards me at different phases.
Yeah.
I was never really like, my parents didn't really punish me. I was a pretty good kid.
Okay.
I didn't really start doing like terrible things until I was like way past the age of punishment. And I say terrible things like just DUIs and getting in trouble and, you know, all the scares that they've gotten probably started after the age of like 22, 23.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, that was probably the worst thing as a kid to go through some of that stuff because, you know, like it's not even your dad. It's not even like a biological parent.
Yeah.
And they're roughing you up. You're experiencing different things. I think that particular phase of my life was probably rough in terms of like not having that safety of a parent being
Gotcha.
around. You know, like now as a dad, you reflect on that stuff a lot more.
Yeah.
And like I don't put my kids in that situation. You know?
think about how not to like raise like that. Yeah.
Like I remember like just like some of that. Like probably the worst one was like one time I fell asleep on their floor, and I was dragged from one bedroom into my bedroom, but to the point where I had like rug burns.
Jeez.
You know, so like you reflect on those type of things. I think I was like maybe 9 years old.
Okay.
And like so that could, I don't know if that's punishment or abuse or however you want to look at it, but
nowadays they would label a little different, but it was punishment.
Child Protective Services is showing up at this point, but you know, like
You went from rug burn to road burn.
yeah, or road rash. I think I still got some of it. Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
I think there's this one. This is one. I know I was raised just by my mom only. When I was 7 years old, I had a potty mouth, so I would say some shit. You know, I'd get the basic, put the soap in your mouth. She would actually tape it, duct tape, keep it in there because I would spit it out real quick. But she would duct tape it, tell me to put my pants down. I would bend over. She would take the belt, and I would yell because this is true punishment. She wouldn't whoop my ass when she's supposed to. She'd be whooping my back for no reason because she's keep missing. So I'm yelling, and she's like telling me to shut up. But I'm like, you're whipping my back and not my ass where you're supposed to. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm getting this punishment for no reason because I'm letting you know that you're not hitting my ass when you're supposed to.
Get the slave beaten. Oh my God.
That's my punishment.
Oh, I got the belt behind the thigh.
Oh,
God.
I'll take that over the back.
Caught plenty of those. Ass whippings.
Did you get cussed out?
Huh?
Did you get cussed out
Oh, yeah.
in Filipino?
What did she say?
She
She would say all that. Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know what you're saying.
That's good. That is good.
Look at Edvin. He knows.
So I have a typical black household. I've had the beatings, so
Yeah.
we can name them. Shower, you know what I'm saying? All that. I've had some weird punishments because I actually was a pretty bad kid because I grew up by myself. So I was very bored and like,
Yeah.
so I was just doing shit I had no business doing and then trying to get away with it. And I had nobody to blame on. So motherfucker be like, oh, you did it. Right. So it was like one. I'll tell you about this punishment, but it was like one thing. I broke this glass vase right on the windowsill because I wasn't supposed to go outside the house. I was already grounded. So my friends were running outside, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna talk to them. Wasn't paying attention. Opened the fucking window. Nigga broke this shit. Crystal vase from Germany. I was like, oh shit. I was like, clean it up, threw it in the trash. Act like nothing happened. Nigga act like nothing. How dumb are you? Nigga like, they're not gonna notice misses. So anyway, got my ass beat for that one. But this is one of the punishment that stuck
Hold
with
on.
me.
Is this sweet Charmaine?
Oh,
that we're,
bro, out of
sweet
control.
Charmaine
Out of
Townsend
control.
that
I'm
we're
about
talking
to
about?
Yeah, I'm about to tell you some shit she did to me
The
one time.
sweetest lady ever.
Bro. Yep, ever. Got my ass. But like this one stuck with me. I'm only telling you this one because like it really changed me, like tightened me up a bit. I got in trouble with school or something, and I wasn't turning in my homework. So I got the first part of the punishment. Man, I got my ass beat. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Shower. Bomb, bomb, bomb. So she was like, fuck it. Went in my room.
Wait, you were in the shower?
Oh, yeah. That's in a black household, you catch a beating in the shower. You catch one. Ask any black person, guaranteed grandma or auntie or mama has caught them coming in or out.
Well, at least in the shower, you're
What,
dodging,
you're soaking wet?
You're
Yeah,
dodging
that kind
the
of
belt
hurts
like
more.
this.
With a leather
Stings.
belt?
You're dodging the belt like this. If you're Filipino, you're dodging
Oh,
the
you
belt
gonna
like
bust?
this.
You gonna bust your ass? You know what? So she found all the homework that I was hiding in my room, because she was actually a pretty trusting mom. She was like, this is your room. I don't go in your shit. She went in my shit that time. So I had piles of paper back there, bro. First taste of prison. This is what I call it. Nigga, she stripped me. Fucking TV, Nintendo, everything. So for the next semester, now you know how long this is in school.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had 4 walls and a fucking bed. And I just had to go to school and come home after getting my ass beat and then for the next 9 weeks, and that was it. And all I could do was read books.
That's why you so smart.
Charmaine, if you're watching this,
look, no, but here's the
hold
flip.
on,
Here's
hold
the
on.
flip to this.
Hold on, Charmaine, if you're watching this, this is why Rob smokes so much weed.
You know what? Not. She knows why. No, the flip to it was, so I was so pissed. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. All I can do is read. I'm going to make her buy me books. I was like, I'm going to read fucking. The guy had her buying me like 10 books a week. I was reading like 2 books a day. I was like, fuck this. I'm going to make her do work while I'm doing work. Read my ass off. I was like, yeah. Fred went on for a whole semester.
Hell yeah.
Reading motherfucker. We
That's
were
what I'm
back and
talking
forth.
about.
Yeah. So
Power over power.
Little did you know, you thought you were manipulating her,
I
but
thought so.
it was her plan from the beginning.
Probably was. Anyway.
You want to beat this smart ass now. How about you, Edvin? You over there brought the topic up. What's your...
You did. Oh, yeah. Tell me about your punishment, sir.
I couldn't play Pokemon.
That
for a
was
whole
always,
week.
yeah, you'd get a game taken away. But then it'd be, for whatever dumb thing I did, my dad would make me like stand, and he would just like stand in front of the TV, and he would just lecture me while watching like the game. And then like he'd knock out, and I can't like fucking move. Like, yeah.
Did he have an accent?
No, my dad actually grew up here. So my
Oh,
mom had the
okay.
accent. My dad was very American. What other shit? I stole.
Mine had the accent, so while I was getting punished, I was trying not to laugh at his stupid ass accent.
And my dad was scary as shit. Yeah, he was scary. And then one time,
It seemed really rough growing up in Filipino households.
the Filipino households are fucked up.
Yeah, they don't care.
They're- We're
Because
from the third world.
if it's not a physical abuse, it's emotional abuse.
And it's
Oh,
torture
yeah.
too. Yeah, it's like mental and physical. So they'll get you on the emotional end of stuff, and then they'll get you on the physical end of stuff.
I thought it was
Yeah.
rainbows and unicorns.
No.
But you know, the good food will make up for it.
Yeah. I stole a Yu-Gi-Oh card one time, and I had like over 600 cards, and he ripped every single one of the cards. I still stole stuff to this day, so it didn't work.
I'm keeping my stuff away from you.
No, I was stealing like Pokemon cards. I was stealing from dollar stores. It was bad. It was a bad time. Hey. Yeah.
You rebel.
That's good. I like that. See, y'all got a little extra touch. I don't know if we're gonna cut this out and make y'all pay for it. I'm messing. All right, last one. Masculinity doesn't need to evolve. Society does.
True.
They're toxic. True.
I think masculinity probably does need to evolve. Like everything needs to evolve. So I'm gonna say
Okay,
toxic.
All right. We got one truth, one toxic.
Both.
Both.
I'd be the oddball. Why not?
What?
How about yourself?
I think I agree with John. Toxic. I think it does need to evolve. Like
Mhm.
anything, it needs to exist, but it needs to shape. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not what it is now, but it needs to definitely come around. So, all right, fellas, we'll roll into the last section of everything.
What is that?
Yeah, section 5, correct? Everybody doing all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm
So-
hungry. I could taste that
You're always
steak
hungry.
already.
I'm
Yeah.
dying.
I know. My stomach growling.
Okay. So we'll take a little bit of we'll get like, how do we say, have a little deep conversation, close it off, on this masculinity subject. We'll start with so let's speak on the topic, all of us, of like, are men to speak honest? Are they afraid to speak honestly now? Like, do you think there's a fear factor being pumped in to even just the conversation we're having? I don't even know how well this is going to go over, but it's going to go. So, but do you think they're just not speaking honestly on things in society and relationships, subjects, with all the changes that's going on? So like, even with the evolution you're talking about, like, masculinity is evolving into something that I feel like we have no control over. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
That was like a 3-part question. So the first question was what
Answer that.
again?
What? You said it was 3 parts, so how you got 3?
Well, I'm sorry. It was 3 different questions.
No,
What was
it
the,
wasn't.
the first one was,
Are men afraid to speak honestly now?
I think the alphas are not afraid, and I think the betas are.
I think that the context of where the conversation is will change how comfortable people are to talking about certain things. I think we've,
Okay.
that goes, how many guys have gotten canceled? How many guys, even the guys that say they want to be canceled, still won't cross certain lines,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So as, society has changed, technology has changed, as this cancel culture came onto existence,
Yeah.
everybody, every corporation, every individual, every personal brand.
I still don't understand the cancel culture.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I think, again, you could be as masculine as you want, but there's still ramifications for how you want to act.
Oh,
right?
no, I'm just saying in
Yeah.
general. With
No,
the
yeah.
cancel, with the cancel culture, but no, I mean, you're going down a kind of a good road with that, though. So
Yeah, well, like I said, I think, are there guys that are like, oh, I'm going to do it, like, depending on where that message is being, aired out, whether it's on a podcast, like, there's certain things that people just won't talk about
anymore. Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
They won't do it, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how tough you are, how masculine you are, you won't talk about it. You just won't.
Yeah. Disabilities is a thing
Well,
that gets very hushed. You know what I mean? So
if we go back to like the masculine responsibility of things, how responsible is it to take such a hardline stance on some particular topic if it's going to totally ruin some future opportunity for you or your current opportunities or get you fired or do all these other things? Is that a masculine trait to just say F it? Or is it more masculine to be, culturally appropriate at times? And you could toe some lines.
But why? But see, my thing is, why should someone's opinion, right? Because that's basically what you're referring to, how you feel about something. Why should why should your opinion dictate if you're not out here harming anybody, right? You're not going physically doing anything to any woman or any kid or whatever. Why should it affect your business or your future? You know what I mean? This is just how you feel about something. And let's say you're Big John the coach, right? And you feel ABC about this in the masculine space. Why should that affect your coaching whatsoever? Like, you are going to coach how you coach to get people the results that they do. regardless of your opinion. You know what I mean? And that goes across the board with anything.
Well, like I don't, because I don't care. But if I had if I had a political opinion,
Yeah.
potentially that does affect your clientele and your coaching.
No, and I get it does. It's
Right.
just like I can't wrap my head around not being okay with like we don't all agree on everything. I'm sure somewhere we can go down the line, find something, and then you're like, no. And I mean, even going through some of the things we just went through, is you hear the differences. So it doesn't make me like either three of y'all any less. And it doesn't make me not want to do business with you or you or you. You know what I mean? You have an opinion. It doesn't. Okay.
It's the new form of bullying. You know, it's like, oh, I don't like what he's saying or what he represents. So let's all get together and let's ruin him, whatever he has.
Okay. You put it like that.
It's the new form of bullying.
The bullying that they don't like.
Yeah.
Like, so that, you know what I mean?
We can't we can't debate him. We can't argue him. We can't make stronger points. So let's hurt him somewhere else. That's the way that I look at it.
No, I mean,
Well, it's interesting too because the woke culture is, you know, a thing.
yeah.
And I was listening to a couple of guys talk about it. They basically said all the companies that went woke all failed. So like they went that road.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the NFL, right? We talked about football. The NFL is a perfect example
Yeah.
where these guys couldn't even come out for the national anthem of all things. If you had that opinion, you were going to get canceled as a player.
Yeah, you saw what they did to Kaepernick.
Yeah. So he became actually the spokesman for woke Nike,
Yeah.
and then Nike plummeted, right? So what I'm saying is, as men, and we're talking about masculine traits, and where do you make that responsible decision? Because if you were Tom Brady, which we agree on, if Tom Brady came out for the national anthem during those years, he would have been ostracized and potentially probably gone out of football. Maybe not only because he's Tom Brady, but you know, there was one player from the Steelers who was a veteran, and he was an offensive lineman, and he stood in the tunnel with his hand over his heart during the national anthem, and that became a problem.
Yeah. No, I remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, now these are arguably some of the most masculine guys in society, right? They're playing a contact sport that everybody wants to play, and they're the gladiators of society. And even they were making a business decision not to create some stance,
Some divide.
because of they're worried about the ramifications. So, you know, like I said, like as men and the way society is, there's just certain things that we just can't discuss openly like we could 20 years ago.
So we sold out as men for money.
Well, I don't know if it's sold out for money or as much as it's the ramifications that it has across the board to everybody in your family and every relationship and I mean, it's not just money. You know, you could get ostracized going to the grocery store. You can get ostracized. Like,
No, I agree.
know.
But then, like, so that's when the community that you have around you is important. That's what I'm saying. It's like that I think is part of this big issue. Like, if we can't say, look, I stand for this, you know what I mean? Regardless of a fucking $20 million, $100 million check, or, you know what I'm saying? The ramifications, it should be non-existent. Like, right is right. You know what I mean? Wrong is wrong. That's the way I look at it, is I feel like as men, there's not a lot of us that when something is wrong, we're standing up together and saying, this is wrong. This needs to stop. You know what I mean? We're worried about, shit, is my next, you know, am I going to ruin my check for my next game? Or, and I mean, and I'm speaking on, like, you're watching everything that's going on now. Like, what has taken place in this year? We're about to close out this year, but what has taken place in the United States of America? And I'm only speaking from, like, I know people that are not from this country, right? My mother's not from this country. My mother did 21 years in the military. I have not seen one man, it's including myself, okay, right now, but I'm like on the edge of shit, stand up and say, hey, or a group of men say, hey, what we're doing to these people is wrong. because people are worried about their checks because the shit they're doing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of men with power and influence, and you know what I'm saying? That's why I removed myself out of this picture. I'm a small fish in the pond. I can get up and say this shit all day. Nobody's gonna listen to me right now. You know, but if LeBron James stood next to a retired Michael Jordan and stood, I could just keep going and stood next to them and say, hey, you know, this shit looks like a repeat. We need to do something about this. That's why I'm saying. As I think we've gotten a little too far from context of like society's gonna go down this dark hole that we're talking about. You know, and I'm sorry, I'm going on my tangent, Chris.
I feel bad for you
Why is that?
because you have to go after him.
I know,
every
because
time.
like everything I want to say, it's like it's
he takes
almost the same, but he takes it to a different level, which I'm like, I'm okay with, which is totally fine because now I agree with him.
Yeah.
But I also agree with you.
Okay.
So it's like I'm torn between both.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so it's we can understand why, but I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I agree with you.
And
it
I
shouldn't
agree.
have to be that way.
Yeah.
it shouldn't. I
Yeah.
didn't. You know. I'm just like we just keep like we can't keep doing this.
Yeah. Like, who really cares about your image? You
At
got
the
to do
end
what's
of the
right.
day, like you're being paid for, like you're being paid for that anyway. Like,
Yeah.
and then more money is being made on top of it. So it's like at the end of the day, if you're that valuable, you're that valuable.
Just got to break the cycle.
Regardless. Thank you.
Breaking the cycle is the thing.
Do you guys think men are self-censoring? Like, are they self-censoring themselves now?
What do you mean by self-censoring?
Like, let me not do this or not do, like, do you think that what John is saying, do you think that's like the normal thing now? Like self-censorship. Forget
Censor.
censorship.
Oh, I thought you said center.
Oh no, censorship. Sorry.
Is the
Forget being canceled. Like people are
uh-huh.
like, I'm gonna wear this bag or do this and this, that, and the third. I'm just gonna stay right here with the trend versus like, let me do something a little.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you have nothing to lose, then fuck it. But I think, you know, like he said, like if you have a family, if you have a lot of people that you're caring for, you know, unfortunately, you're kind of handcuffed.
Handcuffed to the self-censorship.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way to get out of it?
To a certain degree.
Is there any way to get out of that?
Invest in
Safely.
yourself and do your own business so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
I mean, society went through an interesting test bed a couple years ago
Mm.
where who would have thought 15 years ago that the whole world would be told, you have to do this, you have to wear this, you can't go here, you have to social distance, all these things that we went
Oh,
through.
you're talking about COVID.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to
Yeah.
use that word because you get censored, but you know, like that social experiment that we all went through radically transformed how we communicate as human beings.
Social interaction, it did. It took social media and made it real life.
Well,
Like I'm saying
oh, yeah.
6 feet away. Like it took what we were already doing and like, hey, now you have to do this in real life.
I mean, even at work, you know, like I at the time was working in Orange County.
Mm.
You know, it's a conservative place,
Okay, yeah.
right? And we still had to wear masks and we still had to do all this stuff. I joke about it now, you know, I'm a pure blood. I never took the shot, you know, but it was, you know, even that was controversial. If you told people that you didn't take it, that was controversial.
Yeah, I didn't take it either. So.
You know,
Yeah, me neither.
but like we went through a time in our life that really made everybody analyze their behavior because people were taking everything so far in either direction.
Mm.
And like now, it's, I mean, when's the last time, let's say 10, 15 years ago, would you see like protests where people are physically violent with each other over like politics?
No,
Not like it is now.
not now. No.
I mean, there's guys.
There has to be a real
Yeah,
incident.
we have like organizations on both sides that are physically violent. We have people that are like, there's states in this country that says like you can run people over, like just run them over. You know, like We've gotten to that point of a society where, like, yeah, your opinion could be deadly. You could be killed for your opinion, unfortunately.
So self-censorship is a thing.
I think it
Protect
you
yourself.
know, what choice do you have depending on, like, put it this way. If you saw somebody coming down the street and he was just Confederate flagged out, I'm gonna have a problem with it,
Yeah, I might feel some type of way.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, but that's his opinion,
Yeah.
but we don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But that opinion could get
I
you
mean,
killed.
yeah, it could.
You know?
You know, if he came down doing something crazy, yeah. You know, but yeah, you're, you know, I'm with you.
Like when I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
You know, my
It's a thing.
my kids are half Mexican. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't form like strong racial opinions in terms of like what the government should do
No,
and all
but
that stuff. Like,
I get what you're saying. Like certain situations are just
yeah,
not.
like what's like, is there a point to airing out some of that stuff? Like if you are like even me saying that I'm against the Confederate flag, somebody's gonna take offense to that.
Yeah.
Right, like if I went to like certain parts of the country right now, they'd be like, "This motherfucker."
Yeah, they're gonna be like,
"He just doesn't like the Confederate flag." Like, what the hell are we talking about here?
yeah, like,
You know?
and we're talking about history. You know,
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like in general, like you can offend people with your opinion, and we got to a point where wearing a mask or not wearing a mask was offensive.
It was. Yeah, people, if you didn't have it on, it was like,
Or then it was like, no, you need 2, then you need 6, and again, that little social experiment changed how we interact as people.
okay,
And our kids saw it.
I like
Right,
that.
we all
I
experienced
kind of pushed
it.
them over the edge then.
Yeah, and then so like where do you want? Again, you could, and that's kind of what I like about the biker world, because the biker world is unapologetic in a lot of ways. It's like, this is what it is, this is how it's always been, and this is how it's going to be.
Yeah,
Has it changed? It's definitely changed, but there's still a level of like, you're going to see some things that you probably would offend you in that world to most people.
gotcha.
You know, you're going to see pins and patches. You'll see like Hispanic guys with a swastika pin.
Yeah,
That exists,
okay.
right? And like most people be like, what in the heck is going on here, right? But that's a biker thing, and it's unapologetic, and it doesn't necessarily mean
What you think it
what
means.
you think it means,
Yeah,
right?
what you think it
But
means.
that symbol is one of those things where it's offensive.
Yeah,
You know, I personally don't wear that stuff because I know it does offend people, and it offends people that are, you know, my brothers.
yeah,
Why would I want to offend my, like, I'm not gonna like again, like whatever it is, like if it's offensive to people, why go down that road? Like, I don't feel that strongly about it.
just
Yeah.
yeah,
That makes sense?
intentional malicious. That's what I'm saying. Like, if your opinion should be okay and valid if it's not some type of intentional malicious, like I'm out here to harm a group of people. You know what I mean? But
I think like as men, like probably like across the board, like we'll all draw the line and we'll all plant that flag and we will say like, this is it. It's probably something to do with like pedophilia.
yeah,
Right.
I think
Mhm.
it's
We,
a
like-
very high percentage of us. Yeah,
100%. Like, we're not going to get down with that.
yeah,
No.
You know, like I don't care what the circumstances are. There's no justification for it. Like I'll die on that hill. But, like,
I'll attest with
Whoever
you.
you voted for, like I'm not dying on that hill. I don't care.
But yeah, they can stay up there on themselves.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
All right. And do you think in like social media do you think they punish these masculine traits though that we talk about, the muscles, the hey, you know, kind of speak your opinion in a strong way, take care, you know, do you think social media is kind of burning that down?
Well, I think the algorithms allow us to live in our own little bubble,
Okay.
right? There's going to be a subset of people that have never seen our content, that don't work out, that watch Hello Kitty all day long. And like vice versa, like we're not seeing Hello Kitty. We're seeing dudes working out. We're seeing fitness stuff. You know, I'm seeing motorcycle, whatever it is, right? Like the algorithms are going to keep you in your little cave. So it's not necessarily punishing us or quieting us. It's just keeping us in the bubble with like-minded individuals.
Okay. All right. You think it's punishing masculinity? Social media? No. But you, Rob?
No, but like they always say, too much of something is never good.
Moderation, everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So that's gonna close off this section, y'all. We will John will do a little rapid fire with you. And then we will wrap up, fellas. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just ask you a few questions. You just kind of tell me how you feel about them. Weakest trait in a man today.
Ooh, that's a good one. I think the weakest trait is the addiction to comfort.
Okay. I can get with that. Does feminism help or hurt masculinity?
I think the right kind of feminism helps.
Okay. All right.
The wrong can hurt.
Does money make a man?
I think money exposes who a man really is.
Okay. Does pain build men?
I think, I mean, like I'll go back to my earlier statement, the harder you live, the easier life is.
Okay.
And I think that any great man
Mm.
has gotten there through some serious adversity and pain.
Okay. And is dominance a learned or born trait?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I think certain people are probably born with dominant traits,
Okay.
but I think that you can learn dominance as well, depending on who you're exposed to. Now, in the world that I come from, just an example, we never know who people are going to be in that world until they achieve their final objective,
Okay.
right? Like it's a you have to advance into that world.
Rite of passage, yeah.
And then once you get that rite of passage, once you're there, we see who you really are.
Okay.
And a lot of people are not who they really like. They become this person, but it's not who they really are. But the longer they're around it, they start to adopt the traits, and now they become a dominant person because they're surrounded with other dominant individuals.
Okay.
I think it probably goes back to like the 5 people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Do you think, and this is just off topic, like you answered the questions, we don't just real quick because you were on that subject. Do you think a man is who a man is born who they are? Like that's what they are. Not saying they can't learn, change, evolve, but like the core of like, that's your clay. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just certain things about certain men, they do certain, like, do you think that's a thing and that always, you know, you have some men that just don't, they have zero fear. Okay, it's like I'll take my dad for instance. He's a lot of not good traits, but a couple traits I admire him is he has no fear. Okay, and he knows how to make money. So you take those two things. He's 70-something years old now. It's still, you know what I mean. He's still rough around the edges and whatever. He might have changed a little bit better in some areas. So that's why I'm asking. Do you think like there's certain things like certain men are just born like with personality, right? And humor, and Rocky's one of them, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Rocky's a character. So like, do you think that will ever, no matter who he surrounds himself with or what he does or how much changing he does, do you think those type of things leave a person?
So to talk about being born a certain way, right? And then as you grow older. So an interesting topic of discussion when we talk about traits that men are born with. In my experience, I would say that, and this is another controversial topic, but let's look at homosexual men.
Okay.
Right? Because that's an argument. Are you born that way? Do you become that way?
Okay.
I think you're probably born that way. And just how I've seen some
function
guys
is just off. Yeah.
Yeah, like I've had the privilege of watching younger guys who go that route from a kid to the time of their young adults. And those traits have always been there.
Gotcha.
You know, now when you talk about fear, in my experience with fear, so I know we didn't talk about, but I've been shot before.
Okay.
Right. So when I was shot, now a different level of fear is kind of gone from my life. Like I'm not afraid to get shot. I already know what that's like.
Yeah.
So that experience changes your perspective on what real fear is and the level of brutality that's can exist in the world and how quick your life can be over. And, you know, because what's one of the biggest fears? Death, right? How's it going to happen? What's it going to feel like? A lot of people, when they get shot, they die, right? So, like, it all kind of goes hand in hand. So once I've been through that experience, well, now I don't fear that necessarily. I know what that feels like. I know what that's going to, like, what that sounds like, what that smells like, what that tastes like. I've been there. So now that's a level of fear that's gone.
Yeah.
Right? So now in case of Rocky, I would say that if you surrounded Rocky, let's just say he was in a real prison.
Okay.
And he was on a certain level yard.
And these are the type of scenarios.
Violence is extremely acceptable. his current personality isn't going to survive. He's not going to have a choice.
He'd have to change
Potentially, the way he acts,
or suppress who he is.
Yeah, he would have to, because the way he acts right now could make him a target in some people's eyes.
Got you.
Right, because in that world, it's they're looking for weakness.
Yeah, it could go one or two ways.
Yeah. So like joking and laughing is not acceptable in that world.
Yeah, up to a certain extent. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're not in there like grab assing and shit. Like, you know, like they're not in there like high fiving and no, like if you're doing that, like that's gonna be a problem, right? So
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think if you know,
To make it clear, I wouldn't do that in prison.
Oh, yeah.
that's my
Okay.
point though, right? Like
so
he's gonna make a change.
Yeah, he's gonna make a change. I got you. Okay. All right. So it can be environment, like things have to change sometimes.
I mean, you might not have a
you
choice
might
if you
have a
want to
choice.
exist.
Okay. All right.
You know, and like conversely, like you get these guys that are like these hardcore maniacs,
Mhm.
and then they check in,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then there's a
and
wrap.
then they're miserable on the other side.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, because now they're surrounded by the scum of the earth, all the like I said, the pedophile like side of things, and they're just like, why did I do this? And you hear them, you listen to their interviews.
Yeah.
Like I came over here, and it's like, oh man, why did I do like this? Is worse than
This is insane.
yeah, but they have to change their behavior because there's no other alternative,
Yeah. Or they gonna get eaten up.
or like they're gonna go right back, and you can't go back to where you just left. Like you're
No,
stuck.
you're stuck where you're at.
Yeah, so like again, I think you're a product of your environment in some ways. I think certain traits you're probably born with,
Mhm.
you know, but can you learn to do it? I mean, you know,
Adaptability.
yeah, like I was a 300-pound dude that all of a sudden got abs.
Adaptability.
Yeah, and I
got you.
never had them ever in my life.
Okay.
So I think the mindset, you know,
And I just wanted people to hear that because I think a lot of people think that things are etched in stone for them, like what it is. They can't change their mindset or genetics or this thing, and it's like based on the situation you have to.
Well, I think too, like as human beings, we always go to like, okay, if we're gonna make a major change, it's gonna be negative. Like you're gonna spend 90% of your time thinking about all the things that can go wrong, and not the 10%. Like like very little time is spent on what could go right.
Gotcha.
With any major change, like most
Yeah.
people aren't gonna bet on themselves like that.
Yeah.
And the second it gets difficult, you're like, I told see it. No, I knew I couldn't do it. You know,
Yeah.
when you listen to these guys that make it big, they ride it out through that point.
Yeah, to the point it out.
Yeah, like you just stick it. Like I mean, Tom Brady's a perfect example. The guy got drafted like
Third.
6th round.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Third in the 6th round.
Yeah, like he should have never really been who he was. And if it wasn't for an injury, he never would have made it there. But he stuck it out, and he was, did things that no one's ever done before. But he went through a lot of hell to get there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, he did.
You
So
know? So I think that's probably like the biggest message for a lot of people
okay.
is that you can change, you can become whatever you want, but it requires you to actually put the effort in.
All right, y'all hear that, y'all, from Big John. Closing out. Another round of rapid fire. A nice little tidbit at the end, too. A little word of advice. Thank y'all. Another episode of WTFitness where we touched on masculinity here with Chris, Big John Fit, RD83 from LA. You guys say bye. Closing statement. Masculinity doesn't die. It's being tested. And only the man willing to struggle in silence, build in darkness, and lead without applause will decide what it becomes. Are you that man?
Word.
What the fitness?
Boom, bap.
What the?
Thank you guys, by the way.
Yeah.
Awesome to see you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
the
you.
opportunity. Thank you so much.